So what's up, bro?
What's up?
It's the first one of these shits, bro.
First one of 365.
You.
After 365, I'm quitting.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah, probably.
I knew you were on that quitting shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm in and out, dog.
Nah,
I'm in and out.
I got a bottle and shit. I figured this would be cool and shit.
Yeah.
Been wanting to do this for a minute. I mean, we always we usually been linking up on Sundays and shit. We figured just fucking record this shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's like we always do this anyways in the beginning when I get here.
Yeah.
We just talk about, because we only link up once a week, so we'll talk about like anything, right? We'll talk about the week.
Yeah.
When I first get here, before we even make any beats, so it's kind of like and it's like natural.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
now
yeah.
there's just a camera and a microphone. That's it.
Yeah, well, because every time we fucking talk, like, there's always not necessarily gems and shit, but there might be like valuable information or,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Insider stuff too.
Yeah, because like I remember coming up and shit, and it's just like, man, I just wish I had fucking more information and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck about, you know what I mean? Like, oh, how do you make the kick sound like that, bro? It would just be like information type shit. Yeah. Like some tutorials don't give out that much info and shit.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Like the one from NAMM, we'll get into later, but how we went to NAMM. About that one trick, the FL Studio trick.
Oh, I almost made a video on that shit, bro. Like, every day I'm like, fuck, I should make a video on it just so, like, because I remember people asking me and stuff. Because I posted it on my story, and they're like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh, like, it turns all your audio clips. But I think you really have to kind of, like, see it in order.
You got to know, you got to, like, produce and, like, make beats and, all use audio clips all the time.
Exactly.
For you to know what it is.
Exactly. So if you don't know what it is type of shit, like, you wouldn't even like understand it. But like I did it the other day and shit too, like as a dry run. I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it out and like see if I can do it and shit. And like that little fucking tip, bro, that's that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like that shit still is like, that shit's so fucking powerful. But I have like another question from that dude, and that dude was like, remember, he was the fucking he was the FL Studio expert and shit. Yeah. And as soon as I came back, like I had another fucking question. I was like, God damn it. Yeah. But I finally figured out. Remember I told you, like, when I was bouncing out, you know how you do your bounce outs and shit, and sometimes it gives you that little space. Well, for some reason, like every time like I would make like perks and stuff like that, it wouldn't bounce out with like my effects and shit. I don't know why it was happening. Like I would bounce them out.
Reverb and delay and all
that. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I finally like went through and I did it like how you did it and did every single option available and shit. And like I finally got it to work. So now I have like a whole folder full of the fucking my perks and shit like that. Cause every time I would do it, it would be fucking, perk, run it to make a reverb bus and all that shit. The other day, while you were in Mexico and shit, I finally like sat down and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make. I spent I think one Sunday just making like a whole fucking template and shit with like all the drum sounds and like new sounds and shit. And like I spent a day like just finding new sounds and fucking sampling
about, like,
and shit.
Routing it, right? Like routing all your and instead of having to set it up every time, you kind of just have it already preset. You're talking about.
Yeah.
You load up a session, all your template.
Yeah, exactly and shit, bro. Cause like. Most of the time, I mean, the session would be kind of like normal and stuff. Like every time is like pretty much the same. But like I just don't like having all the same sounds because I don't know which snare, which kick is gonna fucking work and shit.
Yeah.
But like as far as like buses and shit like that, I was like, all right, let me just do this shit. So
yeah,
I finally just did that shit. I was like, fuck it, let me just fucking knock that shit out.
I don't have a template with drums because of that same reason. Because I don't like using the same drums all the time. Even though I have my go-tos. I have go-tos that you're like always like, oh, I got like these go-to 6 snares that are like that's like my favorite snare.
Yeah.
But then like if I have it loaded up to a template, I feel like I can't I feel like all my beats will sound the same that day if I have it a template.
Oh,
I never start off with a template, ever.
Yeah, I even sometimes like with the bass and stuff like that, I don't like using the same bass like 2 times in a row on a beat or some shit like that. And sometimes like it happens where I'm like, fuck, I wish I wouldn't have used that bass like 2 beats in a row or something like that, or wish I switched it. But sometimes it's just the bass that works and shit, bro. Really. But
well,
yeah, man.
Like, even you have we have the you can't see it on the frame, but he has his Moog right here, and like even right there, it's like every time it's different. But you can have pictures, but even though it's so like. Because it's minuscule little adjustments and it'll sound different,
Yeah, exactly. And shit.
I was messing with it the other day. Well, you were messing with it, but when we were making that beat together.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, it's so minor, the little movement of
yeah,
you know, like any knob, and it's just like it makes it sound different. You know?
Yeah, I try to explain to people it's like it's dope as fuck, but like each time is like you're kind of like carving and making the low end yourself. Like as soon as you figure out the notes and stuff, and then you record it like a MIDI like we did, and you start adjusting shit, you're like, oh, I can add more sub, or I can add more like bite and crunch to it and shit. It's not just like stagnant, you know what I mean? But the only reason I ever take pictures is just like recall. If somebody hits me up and like hey, fix this, you know what I mean? Like I have to be like, well, fuck, I don't even remember what the bass patch is.
Yeah, that's the annoying part. There's no preset.
Nah, you can't save that shit. So every time I have to take a picture just in case it's like a recall and shit. Like, hey, like that beat's tough, but can you change it? You went to a C, can you go to a D instead? And it's like, fuck, you got to match it. And like, for some reason, like in my head, like I can't even like it bugs me if it's not perfect for some reason. Like I'm just like, I don't believe it's the right preset because like I don't have a picture of it type of shit.
Yeah, well that's the only downfall I think about the Moog, but it's still like legendary. So it's you know.
The tone is still true. That's for sure. Like it still sounds fucking awesome. That's for sure.
That's man. I mean, I don't know, just something, especially because. Well, before you didn't have the sub in it, but now when you have the sub, it's like you can just feel it more, and it's just like I don't know, it's enhanced even more. So that's what I like about like the sub and stuff, like because you barely got it like a month ago.
Yeah, I got that from the homie Ascend and shit. I got that shit probably I probably got it like I got that shit on 420. I went to go pick it up on 420 and shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah, I got that shit from my homie Ascend and shit, and yeah, I don't know what it is about the synthesizers. I don't know if it's because it's like line level or some shit like that, but the volume is always like a little bit lower than usual and shit. So like when I would make beats, the beat would be so much more louder than the synth and shit. I'm like, fuck, I always have to turn it up, like, or I'd have to turn the beat or like the master fader going down so I could hear it, and then turn the volume up to balance it. But now with the sub and shit, it's like a lot easier. Like it's way more. You can kind of like feel the. You can feel it now. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot more easier.
It's not even audio. It's not even like audible. It's more like you're feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It is now. Yeah.
Yeah, cause like you know how that fucking bass is, bro. If you ain't feeling that shit's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean that's like the biggest part of every beat, pretty much.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. So tell me about Mexico, bro. What'd you do in Mexico and shit?
Just a resort, and it was cool with my family.
Hell yeah.
It was like 4 days. They got a sick supermarket out there. It's called Fresco.
What the fuck?
I never heard of it in my life, but it's actually sick.
What's
like,
good about that shit?
Well, it's hella organized. It's like super neat. It's like clean. It's like new. I was asking one of our drivers, and he said it's only been around like 8 years.
Oh,
but
shit.
I think the one that we were at was only been there like 3 years.
Oh,
so the actual company started like 8 years ago, but like the actual one that we went to was only been there like 2-3 years. So it was like super new. Like the floor's like clean. Like everything's well organized and maintained, and like it's not no like Walmart. You know what I'm saying? It's like a super elevated. I don't know. It's real nice. And
like Whole Foods and shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Mexican Whole Foods, pretty much. I would say probably something like that.
That's dope shit.
I've only been to Whole Foods like twice, but. From what I've been to Whole Foods,
yeah.
But it's like it's nice. I think it's so nice because it's new. It's not like run down like 20 years. It's
okay, gotcha.
But it's hella nice.
Yeah, we have this place over here next Maxi Foods and shit, and I've been going there since like I was a kid and shit, and that shit looks exactly the same. Like nothing has changed at all and shit, bro. But they got like fucking a rat problem or some shit, bro. I don't be going there, dog. Yeah, that shit's suspect, bro. I can't do it.
Yeah. No, I mean, Mexico is cool. I mean, I just went there. It's a little vacation. You just hang out at the beach. At the resort, there's like a pool, hot tub. You know, the kids get to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
It was cool. I mean, it was just like a little 4-day trip. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like a beach trip kind of, but it's in Mexico, you know?
No, I feel you 100%.
I went to Mexico like my whole life growing up, so this is just like the beach pretty much. I've been to beaches in Mexico, but like Manzanillo, but I never went to Cabo, so we just went there for like a whole, got to eat tacos on the beach and do that type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It was cool. It's more like a touristy thing, more than like anything. It wasn't like we're not with like the mainlanders, you know?
Oh, okay.
I'm not like with my people out there. It's just like I was kind of like a tourist, you know? And every time I go to Mexico, I'm usually my little town, so
gotcha.
It's a different experience, but yeah, Mexico was cool.
No, that's dope shit. Yeah. Fucking, I ain't never been. Well, I've only been to Mexico once. That was like TJ and shit. But like all the homies always telling me, like especially like growing up, man, you gotta go to Mexico. I never, you know what I'm saying? Like I never just had a desire to go. But like now it just like now I realize like with Cabo and like Tulum and like all those places like that shit is like it's a nice getaway every now and then, like especially if you're like in California and shit, like it's not too bad type of shit. You feel me?
Well,
like,
California. I mean, think about how many people around the world want to come to California for that reason.
Yeah,
it's because we're so like, and I asked one of our drivers too. I asked him like, how does it feel being like in Cabo? Like everyone likes to go to Cabo, you know, but it's like it's kind of like. He asked me like, well, you live in California, do you go to Disneyland all the time? And I'm like, no.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that. It's like you want it because, or for us, it's whatever because we live here.
Yeah.
Like we live close to Disneyland, but we don't go there every weekend or every week, you know?
No.
I go there like once every 3-4 years, you know? And that's kind of like the opposite, reverse for them. Like the guy told me, I told the guy, like, do you ever go to the beach all the time? He's like, nah, I really don't. I work all the time. Like I don't really got time for it. So it's kind of it's the same thing.
No,
everyone's life is just like flipped wherever they live, you know, like you want to go there because you can't experience it, but when you do live there, you're over experienced it, and it's like you don't really care about it. To use like whatever because you grew up there, you know.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. Like I lived here like my whole life and shit, and I didn't even get on like an airplane until like I don't know 2008 or 9 and shit. You know what I mean? Like that was like the first time and shit. But I only been to Disneyland once, bro. I don't understand like. I understand like people like that shit, but I'm just like I don't get it, you know. Like, that shit's fucking packed. The lines are long and shit.
It's hot, especially right now. If you go, it's cracking. Right now.
It's fucking cracking hard, bro. Like nah, I never really. I've only been once, and like I did the California Adventure and like the Disneyland thing, but like nah, I guess because I went at an older age in life and shit. Just not for me, bro. I'm just
I
like
feel
this
like
is
California. I've been there a few times, right? Because I have like my nieces and nephews, and you know. And I've been there like probably like in total probably like 10 times.
That's a good amount of times.
It's a good. So I've been to both. California Adventures I think is better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I there's like people like are super addicted to going.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's like whatever you get a Disney pass. So it's cool.
Yeah,
but like there's some people like that are just about it. You know, I don't know. That's just people's thing. Is like they love Disneyland.
Yeah, their annual pass holders and shit.
Know, they do whatever they want. I mean,
nah. Do your own shit. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I've been to Knott's Berry Farm a bunch of times though. You know what I mean?
I've only been once to Knott's.
What, bro? Let me know, bro. I'm a vet, bro. I get a person in free every year for like a month or some shit. Damn, in like November or some shit. I think November or September or something like. If you're a vet, you get like one person in for free, you know what I mean? And then like you're free too. So like we used to always just go all the time and shit. And like Knott's is sick as fuck. But
okay, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had this type of benefits. That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool and shit, but like so I don't know. They've been changing shit. Like you have to register now. I'm not sure. But I haven't been in a while, but I've been to Knott's like quite a few times and shit. But
you ever do the free fall?
What's the Supreme Screen?
It might be it. I don't know.
Nah, bro,
I don't know which one it is, but it's like the one. It's I call it a free fall because you literally just go up and straight. You go straight.
Oh yeah, that's Supreme Screen. Nah, bro.
You didn't do that?
Hell no.
I did that and lost my voice. I was screaming like crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
You're fucking screaming and shit. To be honest, dog, like
like rides like that.
Yeah, I don't really fuck with rides and shit, bro. Especially like like one time they had like an accident type of shit, and like the fucking I think it was on Accelerator, like that shit snapped and like hit some kid in the face and shit. Yeah, it's on camera and shit. Yeah, so any of the ones that ever had like an issue with, I am not getting on no fucking nah. And that when you're talking about that free fall shit, like. I don't know if you've seen that video, but that kid just fucking fell off. He fucking
I mean, that was the guy's fault for not checking the seatbelt.
Well, fuck, it's somebody's fault, but like I ain't even trying to fall like that type of shit. Yeah. Like, nah, I'm cool, bro. Yeah. Fuck that, yeah.
And that was big. Yeah, I'm not really. That's like a thriller, you know. Like if you're, what do you call it? Like if you're, you're like a. What's that word? Where like adrenaline?
Adrenaline junkie.
Adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like everyone. That's why. I mean, that's probably why people like going to Disneyland. Maybe besides like Mickey Mouse and all that.
There ain't no adrenaline at Disneyland.
At California Adventure, there is.
What's that California Adventure?
There's the Incredicoaster that does the backflip.
Gotcha.
See, backflip. I don't like the flips because I'm scared about me flipping out.
I don't mind the flips. The flips cool.
That's like my worst fear, honestly. On like roller coasters, the backflips.
Nah, to me it's like the speed and the height shit, bro. I can do as many flips and shit. It's just that height shit, bro. And they stop you like when you're fucking 17 stories in the sky. Like, nah, bro.
Well, cool. That's the other one. That's the one that used to be the one that's now it's Guardians of the Galaxy, but before it was Tower of Terror, and they would take you always to the top.
Oh yeah, I've been on that shit. Yeah,
up the top and you like see like that, like that's adrenaline right there. You're
yeah,
like, you're.
Oh, that's a good ride. That was my favorite.
Fall,
yeah, that was my favorite. Yeah, when we first went there, that was my favorite ride when we went there because it used to be the Twilight Zone shit. I fuck with the Twilight. Yeah, that shit was cool. I didn't know they changed that shit.
No, yeah, now it's all like Marvel stuff now, like that. Everything's kind of like Marvelized. No, I think it's sick, but yeah, I mean it's
the Marvel shit.
It's not like classic stuff.
Nah, I believe it, bro.
Well, like remember, like back. Pirates of the Caribbean got opened back up. When I went, I remember it was closed for like repairs or something. I don't know what happened, but now it's like Pirates of the Caribbean. They opened that back up, and that's classic right there on the boat. You see the dog and stuff. You see getting the keys in the beginning. You don't remember being on Pirates? Well, you only been there once.
I only been there once, bro. I don't even remember that shit.
Nah, yeah. Or you ever been? It's a Small World.
Nah. Oh yeah, I have been there. That shit was a trip, bro. Yeah. That one's definitely a trip and shit. Ride. Nah, I don't think I went on the ride because somebody died on that shit.
What?
Yeah, somebody died on that shit when I was a kid or some shit like that. The Roger Rabbit shit, right?
I have no idea.
It's one of those shits. Yeah, some kid had fucking died on that shit. Like he had got off the fucking thing and it like ran him over and shit, like cut his head off, bro. I don't go on any of the rides that got issues in the history.
It's not no scary ride though. It's like a little boat ride.
That was the ironic thing of it, bro. Somebody got killed on that.
You're literally just sitting on the boat and like going through like you guys see like different countries and.
That's that shit, bro. That's that shit, bro.
Yeah.
So what's up, man? It's the 2 P's on the podcast and shit.
2 P's on the pod.
We're trying to talk about all the shit that we do type of shit.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about NAMM.
NAMM? Oh yeah, fucking.
That was both our first times going.
Yeah, that was my first time going to NAMM. Like I always heard about it, especially being like in engineer school and all that shit. Like, oh man, you got to go to NAMM, you got to do this and shit. And like, we went, and this is like the first time like since COVID and shit.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years.
Yeah.
2019, I think was the last one.
Yeah, definitely. I had a good time, to be honest. We did 2 days. We went 2 days, right?
Yeah.
We went 2 days. Yeah. First day was cool, so you can kind of like get a lay of the land and shit. Cause like I never even been at that Anaheim Convention Center, where the hell that is. Like that shit is huge, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were averaging like 6 to 7 miles a day.
Yeah, it was a lot of walking.
Yeah, bro. It was quite. It was up there.
They had escalators though, and it was fresh. I ain't gonna lie, the fact that it was air conditioned. Like,
oh yeah. That was nice.
I didn't think like that many people in that big of a building would actually be fresh. I didn't think it would, but it actually was, because there was a lot of people. Like I'm talking about like thousands of people walking with like all around this, and I thought it was gonna be hot.
You know, the whole time too, I was like, man, there's so many people here. Like, does everybody do music? Like I knew,
yeah. I've seen. Well, some people I've seen some people go like their partners or whatever. So I don't know if like one of them maybe made music. So it's kind of like you got to take into account that kind of stuff, and like some people brought their kids and. I mean, actually, there wasn't that many kids. Now that I think about it, there wasn't that many kids.
Nah, there really wasn't. Nah. But there was partners and shit.
Yeah, there was a lot of partners.
Remember when we met Battle Cat and his wife was like, she had a chair. She was like, man, I'm sick of this shit. It's been 2 days. Like, nah, I'm cool, bro.
Yeah. Nah, but I mean, if they were walking around too, I mean, it's a lot of walking. I mean, we were tired and we were younger, you know, and it's like,
for sure.
A lot of walking.
A lot of fucking.
I mean, you're about to get a hip replacement, so you're a little older, but
knee replacement for sure, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna cap you, bro. My feet were hurting.
No, my lower back was hurting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That too. Yeah.
Trying to, walk around like, it was too much walking. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, dude, and it's like fucking.
Well, the first day I think was a lot of walking because we were trying to explore everything.
Yeah,
we went to every single little section to try and see, what was what. I mean, there's a map, but the map is. I mean, it was like it wasn't hard to look at, but it was hard to find like each company that was there.
Yeah,
we're trying to find Core. We're trying to find Native Instruments. We're trying to find like all of these companies that we like to try to see if they're, to test some new products out.
For sure, yeah.
But that was the first day was a lot more walking. I feel like because we didn't know where everything was.
Yeah.
So we had to like backtrack a lot. Like, oh, it's not here, it's here, and then we walked a lot the first day. But the second day was a lot better. Well, Let's finish up the first day. The first day we had we went to I don't remember the first place we went to. Was it Yamaha?
Nah, first place we went to I think was,
no, it was
SSL, no?
It was the registration place.
Yeah.
So we had to go through a queue, register. I mean, you buy your tickets online.
Yeah.
And then you go to the
print it out
line,
and shit.
You get your little pass, and then you get a little collar, and everyone looks like a dog with their little.
Oh, your lanyard and shit.
The yarn. We don't get a lanyard. it was just a piece of yarn like strapped around the thing.
Oh, was it?
No, because you got a lanyard from
oh yeah, from the Moog plate. Yeah. I went over there to that stand. I was like, I'm not wearing this dumbass yarn shit. Yeah, I forgot about that shit. That was like one of the first things I did.
I know. I feel like a cat with a piece of yarn around my neck.
Yeah, no.
And then after the registration, we just went to SSL first, and then we were trying to test some stuff out, but some people there, you know, I don't know what was going on, but I don't know if they were just setting up, so they really didn't show us that much. I think because it just opened at 10, and we were there at 9:50. Like, early, so maybe they weren't really displaying anything yet.
No.
But we got to like see the board. Like, well, there was a digital board there, and then there was the new console, the little new interface was there.
The new SSL interface was there. The new the new drum bus was there. That's what I wanted to hear. SSL Fusion. The UH8 or what is that shit called? It's like the faders. It's almost like the little the mixed faders and shit that was there. I wanted to hear that drum bus and shit. I wish some of these people like at NAMM like you could hook up real quick, you know what I mean? Just so you could just process like just like raw audio or something like that, so you can kind of like run it through and shit. But like I'm still surprised like how many people like still like I don't know, like especially that go to NAMM, like it's like damn, do you still need to see like Chris Leord algae like on this board and shit? Yeah. Like, nah, come on. Well, you can find this shit on YouTube. You know?
Yeah. Well, a lot of things too is like I feel like it's kind of hard because we do like hip hop and like that type of genre, right? When a lot of these like SSL is more known for like. Well, I mean, I can't say that they're known for it because Dr. Dre used SSL, so it's like
and DJ Quick.
Yeah,
and
so
shit.
it's like it's kind of hard to say it like that, but I feel like a lot of people were there were like they do like live bands and they do like that type of setup.
True.
When they saw us pull up, they're like, "Oh, these fools like what? Why they want to use this stuff? That's what I kind of felt like, but I don't know."
Yeah, it did feel like that, but like little did they know and shit. Like I'm still interested in that shit. Like I know what I'm doing and shit. Like when I went to engineer school, like it was always that sort of stuff, like live bands and all that shit. But like as long as you know like the rules and like how to break them and shit, like you can do any genre and shit. But yeah, I really wanted to hear that new bus compressor, and we didn't get a chance to hear it because they were just I don't know, because they were just setting up or something like that. But I really wanted to hear that shit.
Went to SSL and then we went to like. And then I think we went to Yamaha, I think.
Yeah, that's when we made our way to Yamaha. Cause
Yamaha
like
went all out, though. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, dude.
Yamaha, they put in work.
That was the best place out of all of them, dude. Like, They
had like their whole showroom. They had a whole showroom for themselves. Yeah. Like, they were like the main event, it felt like. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Yamaha, dude. And like fucking, man, like I wish I had like a Yamaha piece in here and shit. But like, after just going to that experience and shit, like now I'm just like, oh yeah, like I want a piece that's from Yamaha. Yamaha is so fucking clean, dude. Like
because Hunger Force put me on about the reface because he heard about it or reface something.
Yeah, like the reface series and shit. Yeah,
like those are fire. Like and they're not even expensive. I thought they were gonna be like $600, $800, but they're only like $300-$400 for like depends on which one. Like, if you want like the DX or you want the CS
or the fucking that CP and stuff. The
CP is fire and the DX is fire.
Yeah, dude, that fucking. I'm telling you, that little Rhodes electric piano one and shit.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, dude, like fucking. The other ones, like the DX7 one, is cool and shit, but you can only manipulate so much, and it's all kind of like patch based and shit. But the Rhodes, like, dude, you could always use the Rhodes on something and shit. And like, the only reason why I never bought it, I wanted to play it and make sure it wasn't like kind of like toyish and shit, you know what I'm saying? And like as soon as we played it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's just legit, bro. Yeah, it's super legit.
That's coming in my setup soon.
I'm probably gonna order one, bro, and like fucking or to
have
be honest,
Yamaha send me one.
Yeah, Yamaha send it. Yeah, send two. What the fuck? The homie I know just got a fucking he just got the Mod X and shit, bro.
Oh, really?
Jealous, dude. He was like, I'm gonna go to Guitar Center. I'm gonna check out some like synthesizers and shit. He's like, I know you have some, and I'm like, well, like, I was telling him like, yo, check out these budget ones. Like I think it was like the Arteria, like Micro Brew, the Korg, the Minilog XD and shit. Just like starter ones and shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, when you go in there, just go by your ear, though. Whatever sounds good to you, like, that's what you should get type of shit. And, like, fucking, he went in there. He's like, man, I got the Mod X. I was like, bro, me and the homie just played those shits. Those shits are clean. That one, too. And he's like, yeah, I like the weighted keys. And I'm like, dude, those weighted keys, like, that Yamaha shit is no joke, bro. Yeah. Like, fucking, I, like, often on my shit, too, like, I always run a lot of stuff just to the Moog and shit, just because, like, the key bed is way better than all the other key beds, like, even on the Prologue, the key bed's okay. Even on the Juno, the key bed's okay. But like, nah, on the Moog and shit, like that key bed is way better than all of them. And like for some reason, like if you just make one little mess up, or I don't know what it is, it's just way more musical. Like just that little bit of weight will make you do things that you wouldn't really do on like some typical shit. And like that's the thing about like, you know, when it's dudes who know how to play or like gals who know how to play, you know what I mean? Like if they get on any synth, they sound good. But when you're kind of novice, you need to have that little bit of like restraint on the keys and shit. It'll make finger strings. Finger string. You're kind of learning how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you play guitar, you start to get like calluses on your tips to your fingers and shit. It's sort of the same thing. But yeah, that fool got that Mod X, bro. I was like, yo, jealous, dude.
No, that thing it was clean. We played it. We got to play it out there, you know? So
yeah, shit's good.
Clean. But Yamaha balled out like that. That whole showroom that's definitely the highlight of like the week.
Yeah, for sure.
That was dope. And like we went back there like two, three times because we went back with Jinx later.
Yeah, we definitely. Oh yeah, we did take Jinx's ass after we found his ass.
Day, yeah. And then we went to Yamaha. I mean, we went to a good amount, but the things we didn't get to see was like Korg. Korg didn't have no like. I don't know. They didn't have like we could. I mean, because you have the Prologue, but like, you know, like they don't have it out there, you know, to test it out for anybody. Like they have Korg has a lot of products they could have shown, and I don't know what it was, but I mean, well, they were there, but they were there for like private talks or something like that. I don't know what it was. My first time at NAMM, so I have no idea what.
Yeah, I was expecting Korg to be there. I was expecting Roland to be there too. Roland has so many products, and they weren't there and shit, and like. Even like the Moog shit, you know what I'm saying? Like that was more of like a tribute to Bob and shit like that. It was cool and stuff, but like I don't know. I guess I expected like a little bit more and shit. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. Like after we Yamaha and like fucking Yamaha and the Mellotron really just sold me, bro. Like the fucking Mellotron, like I have like Mellotron plugins and like they sound good and shit, but like when you play it, it's so much more musical. I don't know what it is. Like I was playing stuff and it just sounded way better on the Mellotron. As soon as I came home. Because they don't sell Mellotrons on Sweetwater, so they have to get them on like Vintage King. Yeah. But yeah, dude, that Mellotron is nasty, bro. Yeah, I like that a lot, bro.
He
like
me up with a USB and it got me extra sounds and stuff. I was like, what?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? I didn't get that.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like I don't know if it was USB or whatever it was, some SD card or something, but it was clean. Like he hooked me up with a bunch of sounds. Mellotron was cool. Like that was sick. We went to but the first day we just walked around. We just did a lot of walking. Check out like everything, like just to see where everything was located, and then we're like day 2, we know exactly where we're going.
Exactly,
we're not wasting no time like here and there, you know. It was from like 9. I think it was from like 10 to 5, 6 p.m. 10 a.m. to like 6 p.m. the whole venue. I mean, we weren't there all day. It's like, you know, we're trying to see what we're into and just kind of like, and then see a few other things that we've been interested in.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like that's what NAMM is. You kind of go to like see. Like new products that might interest you that are in your realm, you know, like whether you're an engineer, you want to see like what microphone, studio, you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. Because they did have microphone companies there.
They did, yeah.
They didn't have like Neumann or anything, but like they have. Well, I guess only Mike company. Well, they had a few like independent ones that I never really heard of. Mm-hmm. But they did have like Shure was there. I mean, they had their booth outside.
They did, yeah.
The water fountain.
That was weird.
Yeah.
It's like if you know anything,
their mic quality, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, if you know anything about
do a podcast outside.
Yeah, nah. Wind is your worst enemy for sure, for sure. But like, that shit was cool. Warm Audio, they showed up and shit though. Warm Audio. They had like little how would you describe it? It's like little patch bay racks and shit, like where you could process audio, but it was their audio,
and they had microphones to display. Like I think Warm Audio was cool too.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Warm Audio.
Yeah,
that's just me.
I thought it sounded good. It just didn't feel as good as I wanted it to feel. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels
the
like
Heritage Audio ones.
Yeah, no, I fucked with the Heritage Audio. Those ones felt good, but it didn't work.
Like,
remember?
The Heritage Audio, you felt like those. Were
yeah. Just like the pots on them felt better. You know what I'm saying? Some of the switches felt better. Like even like, you know what I mean? Like it's just that small stuff. You know what I'm saying? The small components like you don't really like pay attention to because all you really worried about is like the sound and shit. Yeah. But like. That shit plays a part, but the Warm Audio stuff, it sounds good, but it just doesn't feel as good as it sounds type of shit, yeah.
I like Warm Audio just because, like, they came to my school, so, you know, I always show respect to them. They came out to my school and stuff, so that was cool. That's why I like them. And, like, I talked to one of the guys that was displaying the microphones, because at first I thought I was going to be, like, a recording engineer / mix engineer. I was trying to, like, that's what I was trying to do.
Where'd you go to school again?
SAE in Emeryville. close to the Bay Area, like by Oakland,
okay.
stuff like that.
Damn.
That's where I lived at for like almost 3 years.
How was that?
School was cool out there. I mean, like, the one thing I always think of, because it's expensive school, and like, so whenever someone knows about it, and I know I went there, they always ask me, "Is it worth it?" You know?
Oh yeah.
And like,
yeah.
I only think it's worth it if one, you're already into music and you've been doing, like, because I always made beats before. We can talk about how we got into beats later and whatever, but
yeah,
like for like the school is like, if someone wants to go to the school, I feel like you can't be like a complete novice and not know anything. I feel like, because I feel like you're gonna learn stuff regardless if you don't know anything. But I feel like to really take advantage of it is to don't go in there expecting. Well, I mean, for at least my school, because I know you said your school helps you make beats.
Yeah.
So for my school, at least SAE, like, they're not gonna show you how to make beats. Don't go in there thinking, yo, they're gonna load up FL and it's gonna show me how to make melodies and all this. Like, they're not gonna show you none of that. You know, where I went, they just show you like all like the I don't know. There's so many things that like. I mean, like, they do show you. There's like an EDM class, electronic, like, there's like an electronic like music class, and like there's a music theory class, which is like probably the most beneficial like one when it comes to like beat making, if you want to think about that. And then there's also like all the like, you know, like the electronics of the board, the electronics of a microphone, like what is a sound wave, and like there's like the theories of like sound waves and all that type of stuff. So like that's a good, okay, so my main point is like basically only go if you're 100% about either engineering, or at least for my school is like it was more engineering school.
Gotcha.
It was more like recording techniques, you know, like what is a sound wave and like this and like the, you know, like the technical stuff about music, not like making beats, pretty much. That's what it was. So it was like recording techniques, setting up microphones, setting up like a drum kit, and like, you know, a piano, and like different techniques of like getting natural reverb of a room, and you know, you get to learn reverb, you get to learn like the K's of like natural stuff like that. So I feel like that's, I don't know, like this. So I feel like it's only worth it if you're 100% about it, and if you know a bit about already, like if you already know about production and all that, then I feel like it's worth it.
Gotcha.
Because it's a lot of money.
Yeah, fucking. Well, my school was like same thing. It was like more engineer based. You know what I'm saying? You go to become like an audio engineer, but there was like a lot of programs and stuff. So if you want to get into beat production, if you want to get into live sound, if you want to do, it was just like a lot of different programs you could get into type of shit. So I just went to engineering just because it was only natural and shit. Like, I liked recording people. I liked everything about it, you know, and you get to learn all the mixing.
Yeah.
When I went to like the beat part of it, like, it was cool, but it wasn't like a full course on production. It was almost like a theory course on production. And shout out to my homie Dre from the Bay. He was like my instructor at the time, and like he showed me so much shit, like fucking, you know, like, you know, in FL when you hit like 2 kicks and shit and you don't put the cut off and stuff. I never even knew about that. I was like, why is my shit keep getting overloaded, you know? And he was like, oh, well, it's getting overloaded because you need to cut them, you know what I'm saying?
Especially 808s if you don't.
Yeah, dude. So shout out to the homie Dre and shit. He still does music and shit, and he's from the Bay. Big Giants fan. Fuck the Giants. But yeah, same sort of thing too. So my school was expensive, but that shit was all paid for. So like, it was cool. It was a good experience going. But like, now if you go, they have music production classes. They have all that shit. But I mean, all of it. When I went to school and shit like that, especially for music, it was just, only thing, the way I took it was like, you know, meeting people, learning people, and then and like fucking, you know, everybody has their own personality or their own sort of thing. And then kind of just learning how to break the rules. Once you know how to break the rules, you can do anything. But like, hey, like, this is the rules. You can't do this. You can't do that. But once you learn those rules, you can do anything you fucking want to do. I remember being in school and they're like, hey, don't, make sure you're not in the red, you know? Like, fuck that, bro.
Well, when you say that, the one that comes to my head all the time is about the kick at six the V your V your
-6 and shit. Yeah, exactly. No, fuck that.
That's the one that always like. Because after I learned that at school, I was like, okay, maybe like I should start doing that in my beats. Nah, then my kicks are weak, you know. And it's like, well, like, what's the reason for that? Because I listen, you know, the rules are meant to be broken at that point, you know.
Exactly,
like,
bro.
Well, that's why when people say like, bro, how do I make my kicks louder? It's like, well, what did you just ask me to make it louder? So then make it louder. Just turn it up. There's no like, like compressor or whatever, like just turn it up,
Exactly, bro.
Whether you have to use whatever you have to use to, just a little knob, there's a little volume button there for a reason to turn it up to make it louder.
Exactly.
I'm like, that's it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like I think school was worth it. I think for me because I had previous experience,
Oh yeah.
But I went to school. I'm not gonna lie. I went to school thinking I was gonna be a post production for Pixar. I thought I was gonna do. That's what I thought I was gonna do.
That's a good job.
I wasn't. Yeah, because I wasn't thinking about recording people and like thinking that as a career. That's not what I thought I was gonna do. I was gonna do like post production for movies, for films, whether it was like like Foley production or whether it was.
No pun intended.
Yeah, not my guy Foley. My guy was a beast, but not like that. I'm saying like like Foley and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For movies, that's what I thought. I thought I was about to be there like crunching celery when like people break their back on Mortal Kombat, like anything like that. Like that's what I thought I was gonna do. I thought it was sick. 'Cause I used to watch videos before like I went to school.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was gonna do. And then I realized like I met friends who were like, bro, it's all about like recording, and like all my teachers are recording artists, like recording engineers and mixing engineers, and I was like, well, you can make good money from this,
That's
but
true.
you have to have the clientele. But one thing I was gonna bring up before we move on is like a lot of people when I went to school, there's a lot of money in AV, like that's
what's AV?
Like the audiovisual, like that's all the audiovisual jobs. Like when I went to school, they still send me emails now about AV like job opportunities. Mm-hmm. And like when I went to school, like there's like live sound. I'm saying like like whether it be for working with bands, working at like a showroom or like a concert or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I worked at a hotel I worked in a hotel, but I was like my company was working for the hotel, kind of like we're contracted by them, kind of, and we set up like the speakers, we set up the lights, we set up microphones, and we set like for big companies like corporate like Facebook, like stuff like that, like Johnson & Johnson, like they have like all their meetings or whatever, like whatever they want to have, they'll have it at our hotel, and then we set up all that stuff for them, like sound stuff. And there's a lot of money in that, especially if you move up in the company, you can make a lot of money in that.
Oh, for sure.
So I feel like if you're into live
in
sound,
those conference rooms and shit.
Yeah. So like, I mean, and you run, there's a lot of like money involved if you want to go to like live sound.
Yeah.
A lot of times you don't need to go to school. You might just have to know someone to get in, because there's like
true.
You could just be a little like when I first came in, my first role was an AV technician, so that's what you are when you first join.
Yeah, because you can learn a lot of that shit on the fly.
Yeah, I mean it really is, because a lot of it's like, bro, just run this XLR from that snake all the way to this microphone, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And it's like that's all it is. Or setting up like speakers, and like it's not most complicated stuff. But if you want to move up, yeah, then that's when you want to learn a lot of stuff. But a lot of those jobs got like, they have like little courses online to like help you out, and that's how you kind of level up in the job.
Yeah.
So if people want to do like that kind of job, that's cool too.
Yeah.
I was in it, and it's good money, but
hell yeah,
COVID happened.
So fucking speaking of like school and like old school shit, like fucking, you remember how we first met and shit, bro?
Yeah, I hate the first time I ever I tried to hit up this fool. I hit you up.
Did you?
Yeah, because I had messaged you. This is like 2 years, maybe. It wasn't 3. It was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Because I had said I messaged you. I said, "Yo, are you looking to hire like engineers?"
Oh
I
yeah.
had just got back from school.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Yo, you looking to like hire anyone?" Because I saw him at a studio. So this is what happened. When I first started making beats, I was like, well, not first started making beats, but like when I first started like putting beats on YouTube, it was like Gunna beats and like all this type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, this is like, I'm not making no money off this. I'm not getting no attraction. I was like, it's too saturated, bro. At the time, everyone was making those.
Yeah,
Like, I gotta start making something else. Anyways, I started making Larry June beats.
Okay.
And then I looked up Larry June beats. I was like, all right, let me see who's popping. Let me see who's about it and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So then I looked up Larry June type beats, and then I saw Hunger Force, like you're like the top one with your fucking thumbnail and that little Hunger Force logo, and I was like, all right, this was about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this was doing numbers right here. So I hit up you, I hit up Mike, and you two are the first people I hit up.
Yeah.
I hit you up, and I think you probably responded the same day maybe, but I hit you up saying like, yo, like, I found you on Instagram and I saw like you at a studio in Riverside. I was like, oh, it's not that far from me. Yeah. So then I was like, let me hit him up, see if I could work for him or whatever. That's what I thought. Like I was an engineer.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So I hit you up and I was like, I mean, the messages are there, but we gotta scroll all the way back, and it's like.
Oh, I screenshot them. I went back.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
What
did
I say?
Oh, fucking. Yeah, I went to it today. I was on the treadmill. I was like, let me just fucking go back. It was like, bro, I just hit up Mike D, and I was like, let me hit you up. I seen you from Riverside, bro. Another IE producer. I had to tap in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, it's real organic.
Real organic,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying. It wasn't no like dumb shit.
Bro, I remember it and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, I remember it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you go to school, it was like it wasn't like, it was like a school inquiry type of shit, you know, because like, you know what I mean, like when you go to engineer school and stuff like that, they tell you how to reach out to people and stuff like that, and like doing that sort of things, like, and I totally would have fucking hired you and shit, but like my studio in like downtown Riverside at the time, like where you see me like that I had and shit, like I only had that studio because like I was making beats in our apartment and shit, like me and my lady's apartment and shit, and like it was just too loud, bro. So I was literally paying like a monthly fee just so I could bump music like out the KRK. At the time I had like the KRK 8s and shit, like the Rocket 8s. Yeah. And like it was just too loud for the shit. And like, you know me, bro, like I'm going deaf. I can't hear too much anymore. So like fucking I had that studio, and it was like, well, I'm not really trying to hire engineers. Like I don't know. I was like still recording people and stuff, but like it wasn't like, it was more of a passion project than a business type of shit, you know what I'm saying? Because like, because I was still business minded type of shit, but like I was just doing whatever I wanted to do type of shit, because like there was so much information out like online of like how to do this shit and like what to do. So I got the studio, and my lady was like proud of me and all that shit, but it was like, it was honestly really just to bump music. So when people, and like you weren't the first one to hit me up before, to be honest, bro. Like a couple of people had hit me up before too, like, hey, like, yo, can I come through? Can I engineer? You know, can I clean the bathroom? Like, bro, I don't even have a bathroom. It's like a community type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I remember you hitting me up, and then like really being like not persistent, but like being around. Like I think you hit me up, and like I started seeing your videos online. I started seeing all your shit online. I'm like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? And like I remember you hitting me up, and like I think you had bought like a sample pack from me and shit, and was like, he's like, oh, I'm gonna add you on BeatStars and shit. I'm like, damn, who the fuck is this little motherfucker, bro? Like, this fool's crazy and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, not, you know what I mean? And like, I guess that's kind of like, not that I was tied to it. It was like I was tied to it, and I was like, oh, this fool's gonna be dope and shit. Like, watch, he's gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know. Like, I had already seen the drive type of shit, so like, I already knew that you were gonna do, you know what I'm saying, do numbers type of shit.
I was like, especially back then, I was doing it every single day. I was posting a beat, whether it was, well, that's what it was back then. My shit was trash. So when you heard my beats, you were probably like, damn, this shit. And I'm gonna wait until this makes it a little bit better, because at the time this shit was like, because I was just making like Larry June beats at the time. Like I wasn't making Larry June beats like my whole life. You know? Yeah,
for sure.
So it was like a different transition going from like Gunna and Future and Wheezy to like,
You
know? And the funny thing is like, we'll get into it later, but another episode is like, I never listened to long story short, I never listened to those foods. I just made it because I thought I was gonna be big and like. There wasn't no like passion in it. But then I made Larry June shit, and I was like, okay, this is really what I like. This is my stuff right here, you know. Yeah,
it's a difference making shit that you think is gonna be marketable, and then like doing shit that you want to do and shit. No, to be honest, like I wasn't waiting for you to get good. I was just waiting for you to quit. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, it just like a lot of the time,
like weed out, right?
Yeah, just like, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are going to come in your life, you know what I'm saying? And like a lot of people are going to, you know, present themselves to you. It's just like, you just wait for them to fucking quit, bro. Yeah. And it's just like, when they quit, it's just like, I knew it. Yeah, I knew he was going to quit. And you never quit. And I was like, all right, this fool's not going to quit. You know what I mean? Like, he's really about it. Like, he's really driven and shit. So it's a lot easier and shit. So like, I remember seeing you like after that. And I was like, oh, like he's at it. He's going at it. He's uploading. He's like, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's fucking putting the work in and shit. Cause like, you know how this shit is, bro. Like fucking, there's so much information out there. You can do whatever you want to do. I don't have any more information than anybody else. But like, if you really want it, you're gonna really make that shit happen, type of shit. And like, I see you make it happen, type of shit. And it's like, all right, you know, we're not that far away. You only live 20 minutes away, type of shit. But like, you can't give everybody your time. You can't invest in, especially like, you know, because everything is relationships and shit. Like you can't invest too much. Like if it's on the internet, you can get away with it a little bit and shit like that. Like one of my best homies is Mike, and like I never see Mike on a daily basis. I see Mike fucking 4 days out of the year. You know what I'm saying? 300 and, you know, out of 365, I see him 4 days and shit. And like we have so much business, we have so much stuff, but I never see him and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like,
hella cool, man.
Yeah, you kind of have to like pick and choose and shit. Like who you gonna let like not get close to you, but who you gonna fuck with type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And who can stand on their own 10 toes type of shit. Yeah. So I was just waiting for you to be like, all right, like, because you know people have hit me up the same time that you hit me up, and like they're not here anymore. You know what I mean? Like not physically, but they're not doing music no more. Yeah. Even dudes I think that were well known, even dudes who I think that got placements, they're not here anymore, bro. Like they just realized that, like,
I know a few.
It's like it's not that it's not worth it, but it's just not equitable. You know? It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, well, a lot of people like. Well, I was gonna say a lot of people, but I just know one person. I'm not gonna call him out, so never mind. But like when I first hit Hunger Force up, because I was like, I wasn't like I was really organic. I was like, whatever. Like I was trying to work, not necessarily work for you, as in like, yo, let me work with Hunger Force. It was more like, let me just hit you up because you're close by and like I can get a job, pretty much doing what I want to do.
Gotcha.
That's what it was. You know, it's like. And you did. I mean, and the bonus was that you made the same beats and stuff like that. You know, that's what it was. But it's like I really wanted to do that. You know, at one point, you know, like work at a studio and do this and make. I was gonna like make beats, sell beats to customers if they wanted them, if they wanted that type of style. And,
for sure.
You know, that's what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then you said like, no, you don't even. That's not what you were doing. I think you were like, no, I don't really need an engineer or whatever. Because at that point, it wasn't like you're running it like a studio like that, I guess.
No,
it was more like for you, like it was more personal type of thing.
Yeah, it was way more of a personal space and shit, bro. Honestly, like fucking, and like even like I took the same route that you did too. Like fucking, I tried to make what was marketable at first, but like in the back of my mind, like I don't know, I just been making beats for so long. Like in the back of my mind, like I've always made West Coast shit, but like it's never been receptive to a lot of people, and a lot of people haven't been very receptive to it. You know what I'm saying? And fucking. I don't know if receptive was the right word for that first part, but they just weren't really feeling it at first. But like, you know what I mean? Like full circle now, the sound is coming back. So like, it's been a lot better and it's gotten a lot better. And like, I think I uploaded like one Don Kennedy beat and like it took off. And as soon as it took off, I'm like, oh, like, all right, cool. Like finally I can express myself and kind of like do what I've always wanted to do. And after that, I just kind of just went crazy and just kind of. And I'm pretty sure that's how you found me after that, because I wasn't popular before that. Yeah.
It's just all timing.
Yeah.
At that time, I was making Larry June beats, and I was like, well, let me just see who's making these.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, back in the day, bro, there was not a lot of people, man, especially on YouTube. There was only 4 people. There was like, actually, it might be 5 people. It was like me, Mike, Idea, and Who. Yeah, really. That's like the 4. And I'm and Big Boy Tracks too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big Boy Tracks. I don't know, bro, but he was doing it a long time too. Yeah. Also, 6 people. Black Cat. Black Cat was doing it a long time. Black Cat's been doing it a long time too. Like shout out my dog Black. Yeah, Black Cat's fucking amazing, bro. Like beats are crazy. He's an artist himself, but he's been doing it for a long ass time and shit too. And it was only like 6 people. Can you imagine like a fucking genre is only like 6 or 5 or 7 people and shit? Like it's not a lot of people, but we were the only ones doing that shit, bro. And like fucking, it just took off and shit. Like just cause like Larry took off and like, the sound I guess took off and shit.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, well, I said this like off camera like a long time ago. It was like, I think COVID's what made it overflow. Because when COVID hit, everyone was trying to make money. Like, because I know from personal experience, because I was in the house with my friends and we're like, damn, like, what do we do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, we were all just on the beat grind, trying to, like, sell beats online and do, like, the YouTube stuff. And then, like, if we're just thinking about it and there's 4 of us, think about the millions of people that, I guarantee you there's, like, a chart that went from type beats of whatever Larry, like, whoever, not even just Larry June, just any type beat went up, like, crazy. Like, thousands of % went up because the millions and hundreds of thousands of people, not millions probably, but like hundreds of thousands of people that like wanted to make beats. So like, I'm going to take this time. That's what I was telling you before. It's like, it got so saturated. You know what I'm saying? When like, that's why I feel like, well, that, and I mean, Larry June did start blowing up even more, you know, like, 3 years ago. So, I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, that, and he fucking embraced, like, I don't know. You know, because everybody knows Trap Larry. That's how I know Larry, you know what I'm saying, from the get-go type of shit. You know what I mean? Just Trap Larry and shit. But I don't know. He just embraced that sound, and the sound became what the sound is now type of shit. But, like, at the same time, like, a lot of us, especially, like, the homies and shit, we've just been doing this since, like, not day one type of shit, but pretty early on. You know what I mean? They've always done this shit. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of that, have you seen fucking Smoothies in 1991 is taken down?
Yeah, that's what I hit you up and I was like, dude, what? Because I was trying to look it up on YouTube when I was in Cabo actually. I was like, let me put this on the hotel room, like open up
on the big screen and shit.
Open up the screen, you know, like go outside to the little balcony.
You're a fool.
And then I go on there and I was like, what is this like terrible audio, like visual quality, like video quality? Because someone had like ripped it and like they
re-uploaded it.
Yeah, but it's not Larry's page. It's some other guy. It's someone else. I don't know who it is. And like. Yeah, I was like, what is this? And I look up the video. I'm like, is it because I'm in Mexico? They don't have it. It's like blocked in this country. That's what I
thought. Oh, gotcha.
And then I go on my phone. And I'm like, nah, it's. I mean, it would say I'm in Mexico too. So I thought I was tripping because I was in Mexico. Mm-hmm. And then, because you know, like, there's some videos where like we can't watch because it's blocked in our country, whatever. Like, I get that a lot when I go through samples. It tells me I can't play it because of this country.
Yeah.
Whatever. But so I go back home, and that's when I hit you up, and I was like, bro, did you notice that they took down Smoothies in '91? And you're like, what? No, I didn't know. And then you looked it up, and it was not there.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, what? I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming it's a sample, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's definitely what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, bro. Like fucking, because it's still on the platform.
It's still on Spotify and all that.
Yeah, it's still on all that stuff. So maybe they have a problem with the video. You know, ironically, that's like Larry's first million and shit. You know.
Yeah. I mean, that one had a few million. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
like
the first million. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember just watching the growth because I'm an analytic person, just like you are and shit. Like fucking, I follow analytics to the death of me type of shit, bro. And like I always followed it. I'm like, I wonder what Larry's first million is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And I remember Smoothies in 1991, that shit dropped, and then I was like, this is gonna be it type of shit. And fucking, even when I linked with Julian, I asked him about it too. I asked him, I was like, hey, like, how does it feel? You know what I'm saying? That first million. He was like, nah, it was 30-day run. And I was like, no, it wasn't, bro. You know what I'm saying? You think it was, but it wasn't. Trust me, like, I studied that shit. It wasn't 30-day run. 30-day run literally came like 2 or 3 days afterwards. But it was definitely Smoothies in 1991 was the first mill to ever break and shit, bro.
Yeah, and it took off even more, yeah.
Yeah, dude, because, like, even that album and shit, like, if there was any Larry album if I would tell anybody to get into, it would probably be that one. It's the most commercial one and shit. And just that Rolls Royce sample and shit, that's probably why it's taken down.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but
it's definitely what it is.
I mean, it's still making on the streams, but fuck.
That's the thing I don't understand. I mean, yeah, because it's on platforms.
Yeah, I guess it just doesn't make sense. I don't know if it's a PRO thing or fucking Empire and shit, because Larry's with Empire, right?
I don't know if he's getting. He might be.
Yeah, he's with Ghazi and shit.
Well, I think they because he's part of. He has his own label, right? He has smooth Free Minded. So like
the Free Minded, yeah, but they don't handle sample clearance and shit.
Yeah, well, he might be with Empire for like because Empire is just distributing. That's all Empire is.
That's what they say.
It's
you know what I mean? Yeah. No, they take care of the paperwork and shit. It's just not distribution. It's more admin and distribution that goes with it, really. Like, it's more than that, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I mean, no knock to the free-minded, but they ain't clearing samples, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, they're not. They're definitely not doing that. And if they are doing it, like, who is doing it, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, because that's a tough spiel, you know what I mean? Like, you need somebody who's experienced in that sort of shit, you know what I mean? But I don't know if it's a sample. I don't know what's what, but that was the first one. That's probably, is that Larry's most viewed video?
Yeah.
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be, for sure.
Yeah. That's why it's like, it's weird because it's weird that it's not on all platforms. I mean, that it is on all platforms and not the video. So it could be like just the video that didn't want to have it no more, you know?
I wonder why.
Because it could have been like something deeper than that, like because like I think Trey shot it and Trey's the one that is the video server going.
Yeah.
All right. Well, back to the video, the 91. I was thinking it most definitely it's because of the sample. That's like number one. It has to be.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Well, I was thinking it was going to be the sample and shit, but that shit is still, like, out there. You know what I mean? Like, you can still find it and shit, but I don't know. I guess because it's, like, the video or something. I guess because because, like, on the video, you can see exactly how many streams that shit has or whatever it may be. But yeah, it's definitely something. But yeah, this is not the first time this shit has happened either.
No, yeah.
Yeah, remember when fucking he dropped, what is it, Numbers and shit? And that shit got taken down like the day after and shit like that? Yeah, I don't know if it's a samples thing or not, but it's crazy that this should be happening to him. And especially if like you're an independent label, like we're saying, like fucking, like, yeah, how do you stop that shit, bro? Like, how can you get past that shit?
It is weird because it's like, it's still on all platforms. That's the weird part to me, is that it's still on everything.
Yeah.
The actual audio is still on his YouTube page, and it has 2.2 million, but not the music video. So it has to be a problem with the video. Maybe
it's like a monetization thing, because like, you know, if they monetize the video, like it's only like, it only goes to one person type of shit. So if it's going to the free-minded, they're not really getting their cut. It's only like hearsay, say type of shit. But like if it's a sample and it's on streaming platforms, like, you know, they can get their cut from it or something like that. And there's like stories about that where they don't give them anything and they just get, you know, do you want the song? Yes or no?
There's a lot of back pay.
Yeah, there's a lot of back end on that shit. Yeah, because if you think about, that song, yeah, exactly. You think about that and you got an extra 10 million streams that just came in, you know, 20 years later or something like that. It becomes a whole different thing and shit. But yeah, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think about it, because it's still on YouTube, but there's the audio version only.
For sure.
So that's the only thing I think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like other stuff that's coming out, like just to wrap in, like I have a song That's My Dog with G Perico. It just came out last week. You know, it was when I was in Mexico. It came out when I was in Mexico.
Did it come out when you were in Mexico and shit?
Yeah, on a Friday, and we flew on Thursday, and it came out Friday. So yeah, that's when I was in Mexico, and then. I want to say he did tell me or he didn't tell me. I forgot that it was coming out that day. I kind of knew. I think it was coming out that day anyways, though, because he had sent me the final version of it.
Yeah.
So that was like, okay, it's gonna come out soon then. But yeah, that's out. So everyone stream that. Should be a music video coming for that too.
Yeah, I seen that he had posted it and shit. And as soon as I heard it, because like I had heard the record before because he had played it for me and shit, and I was like, oh, like it's coming out type of shit. And like the next day it was out, and I was like, damn, this shit's cold. Hey, talk about that real quick. Like fucking, what you sent him was like that. What did you mix that beat? Was that the final mix? Is like anything changed from what you did?
It changed. Like I sent him the beat, and then I want to say the next day he recorded to it, or like within a week it was done, but I think within the next day he sent me like he was on IG Live. That's what happened. He was on Instagram Live.
Yeah.
And he was playing like a snippet of it. I don't think it was fully done yet because he was recording that night probably.
Yeah.
So I saw that he recorded a snippet of it, and then I commented on there. I was like, what's going on? And then he's like, yo, I had to show him a little sneak peek of it, you know. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And like, I don't care about it, right? As long it gets people hyped up about it.
Yeah.
And then I want to say, like, I was at work and he called me, and then he's like, it was like maybe 3 days later. I was at work, and then he called me, and then he's like, yo, we might have to do like a few, or he said, send me the sample, because it was a sample used on there. And he's like, send me the sample, you know, so I'm assuming he went to go get it cleared.
Yeah.
With Empire and stuff, so like he did that, and then I want to say like maybe even 3 to 4 days after that, he's like, yo, we need to make this song like slap. We need to make this like we needed to go like knock, right? And I was like, okay, when I get home, I'll do it for you. So I went back home, and you know, so it was, I mean, it was clipping and shit, but like I never really do this, but I put like a bass enhancer. You can use any, there's a lot of plugins, but like you can do the boost bass, right? But
yeah,
other than turning it up, I wanted it to sound like fatter, and so I put like I pretty much mixed it so where like the sub end of the 808 can be a little like thicker. So I'm you know, I don't know, because he wanted it to be like louder, but also for it to knock. So I was like, okay, well, I know he's gonna be listening to the speakers, and the number one thing you can hear in the speakers is like the bass and stuff like that. That's what people want. And so I turned up the bass a lot. Okay, I don't want to say a lot, but like I turned it up a good 3 dB probably.
Yeah.
On top of an R bass on it to make it a little for the sub end at least.
Gotcha.
Because you know, and then I turned up the kick to make it knock hard. Because if you listen to like all his other beats, you know, like he loves like the hard kick, like that hard kick. You know, like if you listen to like Tango and stuff like that, at least some like the kick is knocking. My guy Dupree on there, you know, on the production. Dupree's crazy, and he just dropped that Baby Stone Gorillas project too.
Oh yeah.
So they got Goddamn it Dupree.
Right,
but it's Goddamn it Dupree.
Yeah.
His tag is fire as fuck. I have his phone number saved under his tag. That's how fire it is. That's sick. But yeah, that's what I had. I just mixed it a bit. And then I turned the whole master up even louder because I wanted to make it like this is loud. That's what he wants. He wants it loud. That's what it is. So I just pretty much turned the bass up. The kick made it knock even harder, and then enhanced the 808 to have the sub, like for the sub end at least, to make it a little louder. And then I turned the whole overall beat up like a dB.5 or 2, and then I sent it back to him. And then like next week it came out. Yeah.
Okay, but like after he rapped his vocals on it, now you're hearing the record and shit. Is there anything that it did? Like, did they turn down the sub? Did they turn down anything?
Well, I
didn't turn up anything.
I didn't. I'm assuming. I don't know how the way he does it, but I sent only the 2-track. I don't send the stems. He didn't ask for the stems, right? So I just sent the 2-track.
So did you notice anything?
No, it sounded like
top end cut off or anything like that.
It sounded the way I kind of sent it, honestly.
Oh, okay, cool.
But,
so they balanced it out.
Yeah, but
okay.
Streaming platforms always have their cap.
Yeah,
every
for sure.
streaming platform, Apple Music, Spotify, they all have like their tail end, right? So like they'll like it limits itself when you put it on Spotify. It's not gonna be clipped, and it's not always gonna be at fucking -3.
No,
LUFs. I mean, even that's loud, but like that's super loud. But like I think it's like -13 LUFs or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
something like that.
Yeah, like so. I mean, I think it sounds good to me. I didn't have no part in like mixing the song or whatever. But,
no. I'm just asking because like a lot of people ask me that too. They're like, hey, do you like when they get like the wave or something like that? Like, is there anything certain you do and like just so anybody who ever cops anything from you, like what they should do? They shouldn't do anything. They should just balance the beat and vocal, right?
I don't think
you already mix the type of shit like how it should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like same thing with mine. Like I don't like any engineer. Like I'm an engineer. I don't want nobody touching my drums. I don't want nobody touching like my sub or my low end or anything like that. So like I think the people would be like, okay, like somebody rapped on this that's well known. What did they do? Type of shit. That's why I'm asking and shit. Like fucking So it's like. It's a volume thing. It's a gain thing.
That's pretty much all he wanted. Yeah.
Understandable.
Because he records it himself, and then he sends the Pro Tools session to Empire. That's all he does it.
Okay.
Or to whoever his engineer is. I'm just saying. I don't know who it could be.
Okay. Say less.
So I know that's how he does it. From what he didn't tell me this, but from what I can tell from like, because he does like his videos, his vlogs, and I watch them, and like that. From what he's like, I just wrapped this session up. I'm about to send it over. So that's what I can understand the terminology, like he's just sending it to some guy to engineer and mix it for him.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, get it mastered. So,
hell yeah.
Like, for me, I know, well, because I also used to engineer, right? I would consider myself an engineer still, but like I haven't done it in a while. But the same thing, like a lot of people don't like me touching their beat,
No.
And like I understand.
That's the last thing.
I understand it. I don't do it because I've recorded songs over your beat, before, and like.
Oh yeah.
And like, because I'm a producer as well, I'm a producer and I do both. I see both sides of it. The only thing I ever do on the beat, is like level it. Because most of the time it's a 2-track, right? So you don't have no stems. I just turned it down. That's the first thing I do is turn it down because you can have headroom, for when you master. Yeah. So I turned it down and I put I don't want to get like technical on like what EQ I use because I don't want people to like. I'm not saying like copy me, but I'm saying people have to learn like their own way. So pretty much I use an EQ. I'll just say what it is. I use an F6 EQ from Waves because it has mid side on it, and I don't have Fab Filter, because I'm not up there in that stature yet. Yeah. I'll get there, but I don't have enough the funds for it yet. I mean, I probably could buy it, but I don't really want to yet.
For sure.
I'm waiting for that deal, that Black Friday deal.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, so only thing I do now on the beats engineer is just use an EQ. The F6 EQ, mid-side EQ is a real-time audio. You could use the real-time audio if you want. Use the F6 EQ, and then I just cut out. I learned it from Mixed by Guru. I mean, he does Waves tutorial on Waves, and then I told all my homies about it that like I work with, and I told them like, my 3 homies that I lived with back in my old house, and I told them that I sent them that video, and pretty much it's like you just cut out the mids and of the sample, or you cut out the mids of the sample, and then you boost the highs of the vocals, so that way it can all fit in its place. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's all like making sure the beat and vocals aren't fighting over something, you kind of just, you're the middleman and you cut out the little, you make the divots for the vocals to fit in.
Gotcha.
Pretty much. That's what it is. Okay. And whether that's that's the sides, you know what I'm saying, like that, like whether, however you interpret it. From the sample, from the like example that Guru was doing it, there was a horns in the song he was doing, so that's why he's like, so with the horns I took out the mids, and you know what I'm saying, like he explains it really good. So that was a dope video.
Dope.
But yeah, that's the only thing I do with beats.
All right, F6.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to it. So like, I mean, it's different speaking about it because it's like, you know, for me at least too, I'm a visual learner. I gotta like
for
see
sure
it and like be hands on and stuff like that, right? So,
yeah.
Like what I did with the Young Guru tutorial, I followed him exactly what he was doing. I pulled up a beat that had a horn in it that I had or whatever, and then just boom, like did it on brought it into FL or Pro Tools, whatever you got.
Yeah.
And then put the F6 on and do exactly what he did, and just so I could hear the difference, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then like, I'm like, okay, you know, the beat might sound different, but with the vocals on top of it, I mean, it's not gonna sound different as in like the structure of it or anything. It's just like sonically, it's a little bit different, but it matches well with the vocals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And like that changed like everything for me when I first learned that, and I was like, well, this is perfect. Like you want to make pockets for the vocals to fit on top of the beat.
Yeah.
And that's like the number one thing I would recommend to people like that are like engineering or whatever, you know. And like it also makes it so where like you're not changing like the. It's hard because like producers don't want their shit changed, you know. Like you don't want them to change anything on their beat. Like don't lower my bass. Don't do this to my snare. You know, like I understand it. And like a lot of people send that, like when like producers send stems. Yeah. I forgot where I heard this from. It was like a Genius video, I think. I want to say it was Metro Boomin, and I think Alex Tomei was like engineering the song that Metro Boomin made for an artist. And Metro Boomin will send his. I'm not like 100% sure, but I want to say this is true. He sends his stems when Alex Tomei asked for stems. The only stems that Metro Boomin would send was all his drums and the melodies. So there's only 2 stems.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because he don't want you to lower his snare. He don't want you to mess up with his 808. So he wants all his drums to sound like that, and then you could just lower it or whatever. But he wants all of his drums to sound like this. He wants all his melodies to be with his reverb and his effects, and all you're gonna do is mess with the volumes.
Gotcha. So just gain and balance.
Yeah, and then you do all your magic with the vocals. Yeah, but as far as my structure of beats and stuff, you're not changing it. So like I understand, like that's how people are.
No, I feel you 100%. Yeah, same thing too. Like I used to put the F6 on my stereo bus, especially if I was engineering, and I wouldn't even turn it down, bro. I would sidechain the vocals. So like I would sidechain around like 1 to 3K, so the vocal could sit there, and like when he's rapping, 1 to 3K on my beat is getting tucked. Yeah. And as soon as he lets up and as soon as he's not rapping anymore, the 1 to 3K just comes right back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I see people do it.
Yeah, so that's why I would do in the F6 a lot. I thought F6 was a lot better than even the Fab filter when it came down to sidechain the EQ and shit. So I would always do that no matter what. Anytime anybody ever brought a beat to like the studio, because like when I was engineering and shit, like that'd be like the first thing, like why is this shit not sound, you know, this beat is crazy and shit, but like why am I not fitting into it? A lot of the time it was just because it was not in that pocket. And you know, like if you carve out like that 1 or 2K and shit, like you have to replace that shit. So either you make it up after it or you make it up for it during like in real time and shit. So I would use that F6 exactly for that exact same reason. But there's an actual preset on it called SC vocal. I think it's side chain compression vocal and shit. Yeah. So you just set that up and just send the bus in like Pro Tools and shit, and it sounds a lot better, even if it's a post and shit.
Yeah. I never heard about. I've heard about the side chaining, but I never done it with the F6. I've only just done it from that video. So I learned.
And even speaking on the stems and shit too, because like I just sent that full Todd and shit, you know, for the Larry shit. Like I just sent him the stems, and I was saying the same thing too. Like, god damn it,
you don't
don't fuck with my drums, bro. Don't fuck with my drums, bro. Like I just don't, you know what I mean? Like,
did you send him all the stems?
Yeah, I sent him all the stems. Yeah, because Dame hit me up.
You should have done the Metro shit and just been like.
I was going to, but like, you know what I mean?
Nah,
like,
but yeah, like I understand.
It's like you can always tell with certain beats, you know, like with certain beats, you're like, okay, you need all these stems for this one. You know, on certain records, you can just kind of get away with the 1 and 2, but like, it's a record, bro.
No, yeah,
yeah, like. now at this point there has to be at least 60 stems on that shit. Like I did a video breaking it down, and like when I did it down the beat, there was like 30 stems.
Yeah,
on that
I saw it.
already. Yeah, exactly. You seen that shit, bro? Like fucking, it was already a lot of stems and shit. So like, and even after that, they added shit to it, and just like, please don't fuck with my drums, bro. Because like if they because like I made a video, like I said, I made a video to that shit. So if it's hitting harder than like what's on there, I'm gonna be like upset type of shit. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't know, like how. I mean, they understand too, you know, like they might not even touch it. They might just do the leveling thing.
Yeah, they might do it.
But then that messes up. Like, I understand. It is hard.
Well, I don't mind the level as long as everything is balanced. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you level it, that means my kick is still hitting. It's just the beat is tucked away. Exactly. I just don't like when they're like, hey.
Well, that's all they do really, just for the headrooms thing, like I was saying before. That's all. They do.
The only issue I ever have is like different strokes type of folks people is like the snare's too loud, the snare's too low, the clap is too loud, the clap is too low. It's always that. It's never the kick or anything like that. It's never.
That might be your hearing problem though.
Yeah,
because like I got a homie that's exact same. Like his hearing isn't as good, and all my homies know like his snare and clap is gonna be the loudest part of the whole song. That's my boy Vic though. I fuck my boy Vic.
That's me, bro. That's me. Shout out to Vic. I never met you, bro, but I fuck with you, bro.
That's my dog.
We're both deaf.
Yeah, but like he's known for like the loud clap and snare, and it's just like. That's what I'm saying. It's like to you it might be loud or or like it might be perfect. You know what I'm saying? But to others, to Todd it might be too loud, and you might turn it down. You know. So that's the only thing.
Shit, we'll see, bro. Yeah. We'll see, man. So man, hey, bro, fucking, we already did an hour. Yeah. You got anything coming out you want to plug or anything like that?
Yeah. So That's My Dog came out last week. The EP 111th East is coming out. It should be coming out next Friday. Next Friday. Well, this Friday is coming up because we're recording this on the Sunday, so it comes out on Friday. Okay. I'm trying to think about what day that is.
It should be.
It's Friday.
July 1st.
People will find it.
Yeah, July 1st. It should be.
There'll be. Is it 1st of July? Yep, 1st of July.
I got it. I'm gonna go to a show that day, a little comedy show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You fuck with Mark Norman?
No, I don't know who that is.
I'm gonna go see Mark Norman's white ass. And
that's
sick.
Sick.
He's from fucking Louisiana.
I like comedies.
He's cool and shit.
Yeah. That's what I was in. I was actually gonna be a comedian before. That's what I thought I was gonna do.
Did you?
Yeah.
I always wanted to do that shit, bro. Like I've always been. I think that's why like we fuck with each other. Like I've always been like the class clown too, and like a lot of wit. You know what I mean? Yeah. All that shit. You know what I mean?
Like, that's what I thought I was. Yeah, man. Yeah. I thought I was gonna be like an actor and shit. That's what I thought I wanted. That's what I wanted to be.
What'd you want to act in?
I want to do like Step Brother shit, like stupid shit, like
comedy?
Yeah, like
just
that.
Straight up comedy.
Yeah. I mean, but I wanted to, you can dive into other things, but like that's the only. Yeah, but yeah, that's a long story. Nah, we can talk about that some other day.
That's some other day. Nah, I feel you.
But
so
G Perico 111th East dropping next Friday, July 1st. It should be coming out unless there's like some last minute edits or whatever. So that's coming out, and like you'll get a few videos whenever that drops. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for me. That's coming out. Besides, That's My Dog that came out, which you should be streaming, and then
that came out last weekend.
Yeah, last Friday, and then this Friday, drop 111th East. The whole project, the whole EP comes out. So
all right, bad.
Got some production by me, Mike D, and Diamond and Foley.
Diamond.
Yeah.
Foley's
got one on there. Yeah.
Ooh, you already know that shit's gonna be real P and shit, bro. Come on, man. You got the heavy hitters in the game and shit, bro. Yeah, bro. We gotta have all the homies on here saying this shit, bro. Cause like they gotta not tell their story, but they just gotta act like themselves and shit. Cause they like so cool and shit, bro. Like Mike, Foley, Diamond, fucking who?
Well, Jinx lives close.
Yeah, Jinx. All these fools are fucking. They're all cold, bro. They're all like humble and they're all like cool and shit. Like fucking. I guess that's why we fuck with each other so much. Is because like everybody is like really really cool and like is humble and shit. Like the next show, like I got the bottle for this shit. Next show we're doing, I'm drinking a 40, bro, just to make sure I'm humble and shit. Every now and then you got to do that shit just to remind yourself. You know what I'm saying, where you came from, type of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
I'm gonna drink me a little RC cola or something. a little Shasta.
A little Shasta, the Tiki Punch.
Yeah, the Tiki Punch.
For those who don't know, you know what I'm saying, Trunks don't drink, he don't smoke, you know what I'm saying, but I drink and I smoke, you know what I'm saying. So that's the duality.
Exactly. I make sure you stay straight,
You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
I was his bodyguard at NAMM too.
Bro, remember that fool fucking approached us and shit, and you fucking socked that fool in his face and then stabbed his baby mamas?
I did allegedly do that.
Nah, allegedly.
Allegedly do that. I did allegedly do that. Yeah, we had about to scrap some 60-year-old female in the car park. Actually, I was backing up, and she gave me a side eye, and I rolled down the window. My window's tinted. I rolled them down. And I made sure she knows she was looking at the wrong person. I know she wasn't looking at me because I would have definitely handled that.
Nah,
allegedly,
bro.
I would have handled it.
I had to stop you, really, bro.
Because I took off my seatbelt at this point.
Yeah.
And I had that shit in reverse, and I didn't put it back on park. I was gonna step out.
I'm safety first type of dude. You know what I'm saying?
So I was about to step out and just give her one tap in the forehead, and then just go back in the car. But the car was still rolling.
Just to take her down a peg. And shit?
I may or may not have roll over her feet. I dipped.
She did not have any toes after that, but nah, bro, that's sick, bro. So you got the new Jeep Perico,
that's coming out.
Hell yeah, bro.
Hopefully a lot more stuff, but we'll get to it when it gets to it.
Well, hopefully so, bro, because I feel like you and G could really fucking take that shit to the next level. And shit. I feel like you guys have a really good sound together. I feel like your sound and him and really like really mesh and shit. You know what I mean? And like G has a successful business, and so do you and shit. So hopefully y'all can piece up and fucking, you know what I'm saying, do some crazy ass shit. Because I feel like, bro, that record, Dog and shit, bro, fucking like that shit's cold, bro. Like I feel like it's so radio ready. That's what I was asking you about the mix and shit. Like how much did you do and how much did you didn't do? Because like I feel like it's ready to go and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my dog and shit, bro. Like that shit is fucking.
Yeah, I mean I'm sure the engineers did something probably to it, but
I don't think it does much.
For the most part, it sounds. I mean, I mean, I can make it. I mean, I was talking to you about it, making it behind the beat for it.
Yeah.
But well. I mean, that's pretty much it for this week, you know?
Hell yeah,
Two peas on the pod. We're trying to do it, Mondays?
We're trying to record Sundays and have it released by Monday.
Done Mondays,
you know what I'm saying? For the homies and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, if anything we do is support fucking, you know what I'm saying, having a 9-to-5, having a fucking job, and if we can fucking take an hour of your time, you know what I'm saying, while you fucking doing some shit, you know what I'm saying? Because we both have jobs and shit. We know how this shit fucking goes, you know.
On your way to work?
Yeah. A little fucking trans or a commute, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fucking whatever it is, as long as we can be in y'all ear and fucking, you know what I'm saying, pause, but like do our own shit and just talk about the stuff that's in our genre and stuff that's in our world type of shit, you know what I mean? Because there's not too much, you know what I mean? Like you think about the other people who do this shit, that's not really like this type of shit. It's not West Coast palm tree type of shit, you know what I mean? Like it's not nothing like that. So you know, trying to do that and fulfill that fucking market, you know what I mean? And just help people out and shit. Like if it's fucking an hour and a half or an hour and 15, let's just get through the day type of shit, and then we're on to the next shit, you know what I mean? Like that's what we're gonna do.
And it could be motivating to people that like are interested in not only us but like in trying to become like whatever it is they want to be, you know.
Hell yeah.
Whether it was the live sound I mentioned in the beginning, or like, you know, producing or whatever.
Man, like we're gonna do a lot of these podcasts, and whether it's fucking starting a podcast or rapping, or whether it's making beats, or whether it's starting a business, you know what I'm saying? Like this shit don't stop with just the music shit, bro. We have a lot to give and a lot to offer to the community and shit like that, but it just pointed and directed towards that community type of shit. Like, hey, let's help each other out. Let's fucking, hey, you know what I mean? Like, if you can work and listen to this shit and get something from it, maybe, you know what I mean? Because, like, it's all about information. Like, I'm an information junkie. You know what I mean? Like, I get off on information type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, what you got? You know what I mean? Like every time I sit down with somebody, it's like an open mind type of shit. Like, what do you know that I don't know? And I guarantee you're gonna get something. No matter what. Even if you thought you weren't gonna get it, or whether you thought it was gonna be something, you're always gonna get a little bit of something, a little bit of game, a little bit of information, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get a little bit of something from that shit, no matter what.
I learned a lot from that Hawaii trip. A lot of little things, you know. Oh
man, that shit will teach you a lot, bro. Whether it's like nuances on beats, whether it's fucking how to deal with people, whether it's business, whether it's travel, you know what I'm saying? Because this shit don't stop. Like when you're an artist, you're a producer, you're always gonna have to travel. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, maybe not take that. Maybe pack just one backpack. Because like at this point, like even when I went to Hawaii, I was already seasoned, bro. Like, I am not bringing no big ass fucking luggage with me. I'm not waiting on no carousel or nothing like that. Like, bro, like I'm carrying a backpack. everything in my backpack. It's gonna make your life so much fucking easier. As long as you have your laptop, anything is possible.
Yep.
Buy stuff there. You were there. You were getting upset. I was throwing away Pro Clubs, bro.
Yeah. Listen, I was taking them out the trash.
Yeah, bro. I was throwing them shits away, bro. You buy T-shirts, you let them fucking go. You look fresh for one day. Let that shit go, bro. You don't need all that shit, bro.
Speaking about business, that's why I took them and flipped them at the saw meet. But that's all I'm gonna say.
I didn't get my cut, bro. You feel me?
No, you threw it away. You didn't want no cut.
That's true. I did.
Yeah. But that's been 2 P's on the pod. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. The first episode.
Hell yeah, man. We got a lot more to come and shit. 2 P's on a pod. You feel me? Let's keep it going.
Yep.
Hey, hit that thumbs up if you fuck with the podcast. Yeah. If you don't, then just keep it to yourself type of shit.
Comment any questions that we will answer on the next one.
Yeah, no matter what shit. If you got something to plug, let us know. Hit us in the email and shit. You know what I'm saying? We'll tag the email in the comment section or in the description. Just hit us up and shit, and we'll go from there, man.
All right, man. That's been it.
Peace, bro.
Later.